But I also want to shine a light on what's happening over in South Korea. Key stocks there from the technology perspective. SK Hynix, chip focus, Samsung, chip, phones, everything technology, key exporter for this particular country. We're off significantly when you're looking at those shares that are traded abroad, those in London, those in Germany for SK Hynix, all as we understand that the leadership in South Korea moves to martial law. But of course, members of the own party of the president are not agreeing with the move that has been made. You've got to get up-to-the-moment news with us. You can also do that if you're lucky enough to have a Bloomberg terminal. Check out Top Live. There's a blog there with the latest on what is occurring in South Korea. Just type in TLIV Go. But we want to bring you what is the up-to-the-moment reporting from Mike Shepard, who joins us from Washington. So much to be debating when it comes to geopolitics today. Mike, can you start with us for us in South Korea and just how extraordinary the movements are being made?
Well, as you said, Caroline, it even caught members of President Yoon's own party and aides off guard. They weren't expecting this. It was born of perhaps frustration out of a deadlock over the budget between his minority party and the majority Democratic Party in the nation's parliament. And that standoff really has bubbled over into the country's first declaration of martial law in 44 years. But it's uncertain where things are going from here. Troops are reported to be in the National Assembly building, and some members of parliament may be moving to try to block this. They have the authority to do so, but they need a majority present, which would be at least 150 lawmakers. And as I said, this is a fast-moving story, so we will have to keep close watch on where this standoff between President Yoon and his own lawmakers ends up heading.
We have actually got breaking news saying that the South Korean parliament has passed a request of the martial law to be lifted. And they say that South Korean lawmakers are going to vote on the martial law lift. Noting, as you say, and according to the latest blog, that dozens of lawmakers might have managed to enter the main hall of the National Assembly, according to footage of KBS locally there. And they need, as you say, 150 lawmakers to be present from a constitutional perspective. This does have an effect on liquidity. We know that they've made a move to ensure that liquidity is there for the markets. But we think from a technology perspective of Samsung, of SK Hynix, and of these companies that are currently worrying about the new U.S. administration and what that means for tariffs and their own exports falling.
There is so much happening for these companies right now between the U.S. chip export curbs announced yesterday, and then the cross currents with the incoming administration, where the relationship between South Korea and the U.S. and all the rest of the world with the president-elect threatening tariffs on imports to the U.S. So adding this to the mix is just another bit of volatility for key companies like SK Hynix and Samsung Electronics, as you highlighted at the intro.
YTN TV is currently reporting that it's uncertain whether South Korean stock markets will indeed open on Wednesday.